Well, hello there. Well, hello there, everyone who is watching right now. Uh, Again, my name is Gene, and this is the Spooktober Storytime stream. And tonight we have docketed 5 stories that we will be reading, which is the final page, House of Eyes. What else? The Dollmaker's House, The Witch's Name, and Puppy. Yes, so we'll be reading those later, but for now, let's just enjoy me speaking to no one, or if whoever's listening. Hmm. What? Okay, right. So I had something for this. Well, recently, I feel like the talk of Twitter, the talk of the town, the talk of the bird, what the birds are saying to me is the the dream face reveal. Now, I am unfamiliar with Dream. All I know is that he is I think he's like the most popular Minecraft like creator. I don't even know if he's just a YouTuber or if he's a stream. I think he does both, like stream and like makes videos. So recently, or I guess before yesterday or today, he's never really revealed his face. He only has the icon. And recently he did reveal his face and uh mm, and there feel like there's a lot to unpack there really. Okay, so okay. It's a very interesting situation, right? So first of all, my what do you call this? My my reaction before the reveal, right? So before the reveal, it's insane because like people were posting this like Dream FaceTimed me, whatever, and then it shows them reacting to the face that they see, which is I mean, okay, like I get it's like it's kind of like a Twitter trend thing, right? When people are doing it, it gets a lot of impression. It's it's a short, funny video to make. But I mean, people were reacting to it like it's like they saw like a 12-inch cock or whatever. Ah, shit. Gene, no, I mean, for reals, it's like they saw something so unbelievable that they're reacting so wildly about it that I feel like it kind of hyped it up. You know how like a game gets so hyped up and then once you actually play it it's like yeah, this is all right. It's kind of like a No Man's Sky situation. I'm not sure if you guys remember No Man's Sky, but um so No Man's Sky was a game released maybe 7 8 years ago, and it was extremely hyped by everyone. And then when they got the game, it was yeah. they they thought it would have been they thought it was more, but it was just it was just average. Like they thought it would be amazing, but it was just average. I mean, and the reason why I use No Man's Sky is that I don't and not Cyberpunk is that Cyberpunk I feel like was when they released the game, it was overhyped as well. But when they released the game had a lot of, bugs and kinks, or, a lot of bugs and It kind of felt like the game was still in development when they released it. Wherein, as No Man's Sky, the game was okay. It's just that it's not what people expected it to be. And I feel like that's what happened. Also, I'm here in before the reaction of uh I don't I don't even know if I want to say this, but now I need to say it. I mean, it's going to happen wherein I want the edit. Okay, okay, I'll come clean. I personally want it. Well, no, I don't want it, but I feel like it's going to happen. A f- the creator reaction. It's a side by side of people reacting for the first time to James' face, and then on the other side is someone showing like like a 20-inch cock or whatever. Why, Gene? Why? Well, that's it. I feel like that's going to happen somewhat because it literally was that reaction. It's so weird. It's such a weird reaction to have in from seeing someone's face, and I understand it's like they're playing up for the camera, but it feels like it's set like a weird it's set like a weird expectation. I feel like. Also, I mean, that's just that's before the face reveal. And I mean, when the face reveal did happen, I mean, there's a lot of reasons why people hide their face on the internet, right? I mean, I mean, I do it, of course, but everyone has their own reasons for doing it. Everyone has their own reasons. Of course, the biggest, well, at least my reasoning is that I don't want people in my life knowing that I do this. I mean, it's impossible for them since I'm not it's never going to show up in any of their timelines or their algorithms or whatever, but I don't I I want them I don't want them to know that I'm doing this. This type of content, or if I'm doing this, I don't want them to find out. So I want to remain anonymous to everyone. Because I live in a place wherein I don't know, like being like a streamer or like a YouTuber or like a VTuber isn't really that cool. Well, to be fair, I'm not a cool guy in any way, but it's I feel much more comfortable knowing that no one has seen my face. No one knows that I'm doing this. Literally, as we have no viewers. But like I said, everyone has their own reason. I mean, another reason would be like, oh, they're just embarrassed to show their face or whatever, which I will say, I mean, Dream had nothing to be embarrassed about. Yeah, I mean, he's okay, how do I word this delicately? How do I word this delicately? He's I will say he is not ugly. That's all. If Dream if Dream in everyone's if people are saying Dream is ugly, then I'm just yeah, I'm never revealing my face. Cuz I like Dream is like maybe 6,000% 6,000% more attractive than I am. So I feel like it's not even a question. It's not even a question that he's ugly. Now, Now, the other side is he handsome? He cleans up well. I feel like a lot of people is he's not a bad looking guy. Let's just say that. Like he's no I mean if your scale or if your barometer of what's handsome is things like fucking a Matt Damon or a Brad Pitt, then yeah, of course he's not. Of course he's neither of those. Like, but to be fair, fucking 99.99% of people aren't that handsome. Like you guys are looking for like a fucking model type guy, and of course it's. I mean, there was a chance, but you know, it didn't really. It wasn't really that. But I feel like a lot of it is like a I do I do also want. I mean, like I talked about people wanting to hide their face, but I wonder what was the reasoning of him wanting to reveal it in the first place? Like it's I mean he's doing fine. Like does is he like just actually no, like he got very famous without revealing his face. Why would he do it? Why would he do it? Like that's now that I think about yeah, that is like an angle also that I do want to think about. Like it's very much a mystery to me of why someone would do it. But it kind of does make sense if you want to how I mean it's kind of shitty for me to say, right? It's kind of shitty to me to say that for like fame purposes. But like though in terms of uh collaborations, I would say is the biggest thing, right? Like you can't do like the big videos. You can't well you can still feature on like a Mr. Beast type of content, right? You can still star in that, but not in like a live aspect of it. In the same way, like for example, like you can't be in like a Sidemen charity match, right? Like those type of content, those types of like IRL content, like you can't participate in. So I would say honestly, I would say it's I think it's a step forward in his career. Yeah, he's opening himself up to more opportunities to collaborate with other people, other creators. So, yeah. Now, what people are uh what people are saying or I guess what the negative aspect of what happened was I feel like a lot of people or I not I feel like but a lot of people I'm not actually sure, but a lot of people are posting memes and saying he's ugly, which I'm just saying he's not. He's he's 100% not. But I mean, I don't want Dream or I mean, if I were in Dream's shoes, let's just say that I wouldn't clap back because I know it's just trolls. Right? Like I know it's just trolls. It's like no one actually thinks he's ugly. Like people are just trolling, and I mean making these what do you call it? Like comparisons to his face with other people. I mean, it gets a lot of impressions, it gets a lot of views, it gets a lot of, like retweets and likes. So that's why people are doing it. So it's not worth it to clap back on it. But also there's like this kind of I don't want to say SJW though, but they're not SJWs. To be fair, they're not SJWs. But there are a lot of people that are coming to his defense, saying that oh, this is why creators don't want to show their face is because they're going to get you know, and that gets a lot of views too because it is true. It is true. Like people shouldn't get criticized for the way they look unless there's an exception though. If there's I mean, there's an exception for bad hygiene. I would say. I would say you can you can criticize someone. You can criticize someone for bad hygiene. That's just me. That's a personal opinion. Now, judging someone by the way they look, oh yeah, fuck off. Fuck off. Yes, I mean, I feel like that's the only one. So overall, my thoughts is I feel like this is a positive. Like I'm not I mean, it's a positive or it's a step forward. Like I said, because he could collaborate with other creators now. And it's just and like the negative reactions to it aren't isn't real basically. Like the negative comments or the negative reaction isn't real. These are just trolls really. So yeah, good for Dream, good for Dream. Now the question is, will Gene ever reveal his face? Will I ever do a face reveal? Probably not. No, honestly, never say never. Like I said, once I become more comfortable to show my face, wherein I have, wherein I'm not very much embarrassed of what I do anymore, maybe. But like, I don't know. Like I'm very far off from. I live in the eastern regions, in which case doesn't really, which which is very conservative when it comes to privacy, or not conservative when it comes to privacy, but where privacy and anonymity is valued kind of is valued a bit more than usual, more than what it means to what it does in the West. So yeah, probably never say never. Probably not. If I'm being honest, I don't think I'll ever get to a point wherein I am I'm comfortable enough to show my face or hmm yeah. Well, I guess that's it really for the pre-show. We just talked maybe 15, 16, or I don't know, a few minutes talking about the Dream's face reveal and stuff. But yeah, I mean, hmm, right. Well, we're off then. So it's time to start the Spooktober Storytime stream. And right. So we're 5 minutes away. Let's start. Let's start in. We're going to be starting in 5 minutes. So like I said, we will be reading works. Wait, let me actually. Let me. Here we go. Let me. So the stories that we will be reading today are The Final Page by 5NAF Plushies, House of Eyes by Goldie Claus, The Dollmaker's Shop by Sycamore Nest, and The Witch's Name by Altilla7, and Puppy by Code Marionette. Right. So with that, let's. I guess we could start a little bit early. Not gonna be a problem there. So, ooh. Also, can I just say that I am before we start, I am using a new microphone, so it might sound different, might sound worse, might sound better. I'm actually not sure because I rarely listen to myself. I hate my own voice, which is weird that I'm doing this. So it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine, Gene. It's going to be fine. All right. Well, I'll be back in a few minutes or in a couple of minutes while I set up. Ooh. The Final Page by 5naf underscore plushies. Another day arrives and I step into the place. I stifle a yawn since it's rude to not do so in public and wave at the students hanging around the lockers. They wave back, and as soon as their heads turn away, I let out a deep breath with relief. I'm glad they didn't bother to speak up. I hate talking immediately after I see people. Not that I don't like them, it just takes time for me to open up. I review my checklist in my head. I always have a plan. I always have to plan ahead even for the simplest things. First, I've got to talk to my friends. Hey there, bestie. Oh, hi, Arya. Ah, come on, Francis. I'd expect you to call me by my other name. Oh, right. Twistar, was it? It's Twistar. Anyway, what have you been up to? Got any tests for today? Yeah, but I'm not really looking forward to it. I just don't like the subjects we have to study. Huh? Well, it's never been too bad for me. I clear my throat. That was a clear lie. A lot has happened during these few months. Thankfully, things have been peaceful for now. Great. What do you think about meeting after class to watch some silly videos? Oh, that'd be wonderful. Because I don't have any other choice but to go along with what you want to do. Perfect. I'll need to review my studies, so at least I don't fail today. They won't kick you out if you do. Yes, but they give you an extra school day. I don't want to come here on Sundays. Well, see ya. How's it going, Daisy? Nothing new, just issues with my little sister as always. You're lucky you're an only child. Yeah. No wonder you have good grades. I couldn't study at all yesterday. Then you better hurry and study a bit before classes start. She nods and gets back to studying. Hi, Jacob. How are you doing? Great. We've planned on going to watch the soccer match today, so I can't wait for the afternoon. Oh, interesting. I better go now. I have to study a bit before class. He waves goodbye as he rushes to his class. Now that that's done, I'll need to gather today's stuff from my locker. Okay, number 27. Thank goodness the majority of students left so I get this isolated locker all for myself. I always panicked when people passed by my open locker. So what did I need? Right, my research papers. Wait, not again. My locker's all empty except for a few blank papers. I slam my locker shut, and as if on cue, the bell rings. Wait, guys? Have you seen my papers? Of course they wouldn't listen. Darn it. I better hurry to class. I step into the class, wondering what I'm supposed to do. The same thing is happening again. Let's just hope there's nothing on the board this time. I guess it's too late to hope for that. I step up to the whiteboard to take a closer look. I already know this. Just cut to the chase. Play along with my little game. It's only the beginning. As long as it's not dangerous, like before. I step away from the board when there's no other response. So, no one gets hurt, right? I insist. You have more important things to worry about. I straighten. Was that him, or did I just imagine it? Forget it. I can still prevent this from happening. I sit at my desk and hunch over as if to make myself smaller. So what went wrong last time was that I hid it all from them. I should spend more time with them. They shouldn't fade away again. You have no idea how slowly the day passed for me. I tell Francis as I hold on to something crucial in my hands. I sure wish the door system wouldn't lock you in during classes. I guess it's a mechanism so we don't sneak out. But I'm the only one in class. You were all alone in class without tests or lessons today? I don't know why you'd complain. Alright, I can't prevent this alone. Here goes. I clear my throat. So, you remember when I told you about someone? Huh? You mean that bunny shadow that stalks you? She fails to stifle a laugh and chuckles to herself. Francis, please. I'm serious. What? What's wrong? I hold what I found in front of her face, trying desperately to stop my hands from shaking slightly. I found this after class a while ago. It's one of my old researches. She skims through a few lines. Maybe it fell out of your locker and you just found it. I'd stored this in my folder at home. That's impossible. Besides, I pause and scan the words carefully before jumping to my hypothesis. How did I let this happen? I never thought it would turn out like this, but I can't be sure until I see it for myself. I step up to the building, a knot forming in my stomach. I enter, make my way through the hallway and stop. Those ears, that grin, and that glowing gaze. I hope it wasn't a mistake to come see him. I wrote this when I discovered him 2 years ago. You mean... Yes! I cut in anxiously. He can be the only one capable of this. Arya, you've totally lost me this time. He isn't real. It's a possibility. I mutter weakly. Sure, but don't panic over nothing. He's not as strong as you imagine him being. I open my mouth to argue, but she waves her phone in front of me. Now here, take your mind off it by watching this. She holds her phone between us and taps play on a video. I force a few laughs. Of course she wouldn't pay attention and move on from the conversation. She's not the one responsible in this. She thinks my urgent reaction is just an act. As if I'm trying to be dramatic for the sake of being dramatic. Though, I can't overreact just yet. I should ignore it if I want to keep people safe. I take a step back. Alright, I really need to leave now. Okay then. See you tomorrow. I step out of the place, wondering how tomorrow will turn out to be. Another day. I walk into the place again. I better greet people before heading to class. Huh? I wasn't late for today. Why would they ring the bell so early? It's like I can't get a chance to fix this. Well, I guess I have to save the chit-chat for later. I stride to my class and stop before entering. I peek into the dimly lit room and squint my eyes to see the whiteboard. It doesn't look any different. Not that I expected anything new. What was that? I look back and see a paper sticking out of a locker. The door closes behind me. I gently take it and skim through a few lines. Today, the class went just like always. It's great that I have the class to myself, though sometimes I wish somebody else were here. I've noticed some strange things happening around here. There's no shadow in this world, but if there is, then there's something really wrong. It's another page. I look back to the closed door. Now what? Arya? Ah! I almost jump in surprise and turn around frantically. Francis? At least I'm not the only one who's late. You okay? No need to tell her. I don't want her to think I'm crazy. I'm okay. I guess since we missed class, we're stuck out here for the day. I nod scarcely. We can hang out until the others are back. Sure. What do you want to do? We could draw, I guess. Great. I have some drawing prompts too. Uh-huh. Like favorite video games, birds, memes, and the dark side thing you like. And yeah. Why did she say it like that? You know what? Well, you prepare the papers and stuff. I'll go to the bathroom, okay? Alright, be back soon. I dart away from her as fast as my weak legs can run and slam the bathroom door shut behind me. Just calm down. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. As much as I hate it, I force myself to look in the mirror. I just look a little tired. Maybe that's why no one ever took me seriously on this. Francis isn't the only one that I confided that treacherous ordeal to. There were a few others who clearly acted as if my stories were weird fanfics. To be fair, Francis was no exception. I always try to play it cool and leave it behind, but sometimes it's too much. I feel like it all started since I trusted them too much. Because they didn't return the trust. No, stop it. I can't judge people based on just one thing. Alright. I better go now. I don't want to keep Francis waiting. I'm done. I'm all the way halfway through. How the heck does he draw so fast? Alright, I'm done too. Oh, show me your work! I remember that meme. I clear my throat, trying not to look at the drawing just next to it. The meme I drew is a cockatiel saying, "Hello, human." I see. I remember how much we laughed at that. Oh, that reminds me. I bought a new toy for my cockatiel. Did you decide a name for it? Eventually, or what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna call it... Never mind. I'll tell you later. Wait, what? Francis? I call after her, but she doesn't respond. Francis! She joins the other two students and they start chatting. Guys? Why are they ignoring me? Francis? Even my best friend? Things have gotten worse. Maybe I should just leave things like this. It's better for them without me. Even better for you. Yeah. Probably. I better leave. I just need some fresh air. I entered the place. I know how this goes. I scrabble for the wall and feel my way through the darkness. Hello? There we go. Where is everybody? I better take a look around. I hope they're fine. I barely come here. This isn't my class anyway. Anyone there? I press my ear against the door and listen carefully. They're there. Guys? I tried the knob, but it seems to be locked. I knock on the door, hoping to get their attention. It's me, Arya. Please come out. This doesn't make sense. No, not another one. I hope it doesn't mean what I think it does. I pick up the familiar paper with hesitation. Today would have been great if only someone hadn't decided to ruin my mood. Now everyone thinks I'm a stick in the mud. They barely talked to me before, but now they'll leave me, and here I am writing this in hopes of getting better. Someone's really in need of being taught a lesson, and it won't be simple. I guess I'll have to call him someone from now on. Still curious? Twice star? I straighten in surprise. That voice, with the usual edge of disdain. I try to compose myself again. I'm not in the mood to continue this game anymore. Look who finally decided to speak up. No need to play it cool with me, Twice Star. I know how you really feel inside. Just cut to the chase. What do you want? Why is the same thing happening again? Answer me! Where's the fun in giving up the answer so plainly? The game isn't over yet. It never will be. I don't respond. There's no point in arguing. He'll always have his way no matter what I do. How naive. Is there really no other way to fix this? I promise not to let this happen. Is it really my fault? Stop it. Don't panic. That's what he wants. Let's just get this over with. I should find another note. I hope it's in a different place. Oh dear. I push the door inward with a shaky hand. No! I approach them and kneel down. Not again. I press a hand against Daisy's cheek. Still warm, but I know she's gone. There's no way this is fake. The note is here again. I gently take the paper from Jacob. There's nothing I regret doing in my life, well, except for opening up too early to some of my friends. Their response made me lose trust in them. It's gonna lead to an ending many friendships pretty soon. I just know it. Maybe that's for the best. They make me insecure. I was just mad at the time. Is it really my fault? Just end this ordeal, I shout with all the strength I can muster. Where are you? I saunter back to the lockers, darting my light around frantically. Just show up already. Ah! I could have sworn something just made my back flinch. Don't you know reactions in fear have no common sense? Here we go. Finally. I get to my feet and look up to I look up to face him. So we finally meet in person. What a precious reunion, don't you think? It hasn't been that long. I tried to stop this. This was bound to happen again. What do you mean? I tried to do something different. I tried to be better friends with them. You tried. But do you think they tried too? Arya? Ah, Francis, you're okay. What's going on? Behind you, it's him. You don't say. You have no right to intervene. Let me go. She lets out a faint cry and casts her eyes on me helplessly. Arya, help! I want to rush over to her, but I can't. I have a feeling that it's not worth it. Who are you to command her? Friend? What's with the stammer? You're not sure? Scared? Maybe both. Just wait a moment. Make it quick. Francis? Help! You know, this is how I felt back then. What are you talking about? It doesn't matter anymore. Arya, this is no time for games. You're right. It's time to finish this. Arya? Arya, no! That's it. It's done. I should have accepted the change and left reality the way it deserves it to be. Lonely. I'm still here. It's strange, but for the first time, his presence is comforting. I take a deep breath. I guess you're the only one who won't leave me. And, you know, I realized something a bit ago. I thought it was my fault that you showed up, 'cause I was afraid of the truth. I paused for a moment before resuming. I can't really collect my thoughts at the moment, but I wasn't mad because they didn't understand me. It was you. They were mocking me, so I wanted to prove you to them. Now, I see what you wanted me to find out. And I'm thankful for you sticking with me again. Your life is wine too, after all. We share it. I shiver a bit and clear my throat. Maybe you could tone down the strange lines a bit? He chuckles mildly. Of course. Anything for you. My creator. Wow. That is interesting. So, this game, the final page actually has a lot of replayability. So that's the ending that you would get if you do a second playthrough, I think. And there are more playthroughs that, like I said, the final page has a lot of replayability. So, yep. So I wanted to show the first playthrough actually, but I'm not sure on how to do it. I'm actually not sure how to do it, but yeah. So that's why you got the second playthrough ending. I think it's second playthrough ending, maybe. I'm actually not sure, but I mean, if you want to know the story, or I feel like, or if you want to know the good end, if you want to see the good end, maybe you could play the game yourself. Well then. Let's move on to our second story, which is The House of Eyes by Goldie Claus. House of Eyes by Goldie Claus. Actually, let me wait. Orphean Gem. Wait, sorry. Let me redo that. Let me redo that because I want to get the names right. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, it is Goldie Claus. Okay. Yeah, I got it right the first time. Sorry about that, guys. It's just that I do want to give I do want to shout out the person who made the game properly, so let's try it again. House of Eyes by Goldie Claus. Alright, that should be the last box sorted. Anna looks over her new home, admiring her hard work. She was lucky the previous tenant had decided to leave all of their furniture behind, and all she had to bring was her own personal belongings. You know, I hope the furniture is at least good quality. Guess I'll just have to test it out. And by that, I mean, let's watch some TV. She turns around, checking everything has been put away before she sits down, only to immediately pause. Huh? What's that? Her gaze falls on the kitchen counter, where she spies something that hadn't seen once during the move. Had the men who helped her move left it there? She steps closer. It's a letter. And a wooden eye? She picks it up and opens the envelope, being careful not to disturb the eye and make it roll off the counter. The letter itself is strange, with each sentence looking like it has been written by a different person. Not only that, but the words at the top of the letter looked like they were starting to fade, whilst the last sentence appeared as though it had been written only yesterday. Read the letter now. Sitting down on one of the bar stools, Anna carefully began to read the letter. If you are reading this, you're about to either have the best or worst days of your life. Once you have spent your first night in this house, you will see why. This is her house. No matter what any kind of document says, and you need to respect that. She has rules. Ones you must obey every day before you go to sleep. Take these to heart and memorize them as best you can. 1. Leave the living room window open. She needs to be able to enter their house. Number 2. Make her a meal and leave it on the kitchen counter. She likes to be fed. 3. Turn the TV on with the volume exactly 53. She is hard of hearing. If you obey these rules, she may leave you a gift as thanks. She will be grateful if you take it. If you do not obey these rules, she will be willing to give you a second chance to rekindle your unlikely friendship, but only once. You must clean the wooden eye that accompanies this letter in the kitchen sink. Be sure to treat it well and with incredible care. It is her favorite eye. Do not take this opportunity for granted. Respect her, and she will respect you. The letter abruptly ends there, and all Anna can do is stare at it in disbelief. Is this some kind of prank? Who the hell leaves something like this in someone's house? Must have been one of the neighbor's kids, maybe. They probably have nothing better to do with their time. Got a lot of nerve for breaking into my house, too. But I can worry about that later. Anna puts the letter back down on the counter and runs to use the bathroom, already planning what she wanted to watch that day. As she turns to use the sink, however, she is disgusted to see the water was dirty, staining the sink before eventually clearing. Oh, for God's sakes, it's day 1 and I already have to call the plumber? She rolls her eyes and turns to the sink in the kitchen, which produces nice clean water. Well, at least something works in this household. She glances over at the counter, wondering if she should leave the letter and the eye where they are. But only the eye remains now. Huh? Where'd the letter go? She looks under the counter, the chairs, the sofa, and even in the bathroom again, thinking she may have taken it with her without thinking. But as mysteriously as it had appeared, the letter had vanished without a trace. Honestly, it feels like the world is fighting against me sometimes. Well, no point in getting anxious over a piece of paper. I'm sure it will show up again at some point. Before Anna knew it, it was already nighttime, and the lifting and shifting from earlier had taken more out of her than she expected. She sat on the bed, putting down a glass of water after having taken her daily pills. Okay, fingers crossed they help me this time. Honestly though, how stupid our bodies sometimes. Chronic fatigue and insomnia? Can I just pick one? She reaches over to the side table again, only to roll her eyes at herself. Honestly, Anna, you'd forget your own head if it wasn't screwed on. Now, where's that phone? Can't rest easy without it. Just as she's about to go looking for her phone, however, Anna is startled by a loud noise, the sound of a window breaking from just beyond her closed bedroom door. Anna froze, not knowing what to do. From the outside, she knew the house looked like either no one was inside or that the occupants were asleep. But that crash was so loud, it would have woken up even the deepest sleeper. Was this intruder even trying to be stealthy? Then, she heard something strange from the other room. It was a short, nonsense song with a tune Anna couldn't place, accompanied by heavy footfall, and Anna quickly realized it was heading right for her bedroom. Oh shit. She darts to the wardrobe, knowing that that without a weapon of any kind, she was completely defenseless. Thankfully, she had just enough space to curl up into a tight ball, closing the wardrobe doors just before she heard the bedroom door creak open. Anna holds her breath, not daring to move, staring at the small gap she could peek out of. The intruder enters the bedroom, singing to themselves for a second time. They pause, presumably looking for any possible inhabitants in the room might have had. They don't move for an agonizingly long time, but the floorboards creak every now and then as though they were gently swaying to and fro. Then, to Anna's horror, they begin walking towards the closet. Her breath catches in her throat, dreading to see what is about to greet her. Before she can properly brace herself, a face comes into view. A large, surreal looking creature appears, watching Anna with its single glass eye. It shines with an ethereal glow, covering the white mask-like face in a subtle yellow light. Just barely past the monster's head, Anna sees long arms that appear to bend at an awkward angle, tipped with long, sharp claws. The claws twitch slightly, now that the two are face to face. But it doesn't attack her or drag her, kicking and screaming from the safety of the closet, only to continue to stand there, swaying slightly and stare at her. Anna can't bring herself to speak, only being able to look at her reflection in the glass. Eventually, presumably satisfied with what it had to see, the monster stands upright and disappears, its footfall fading into the other room before vanishing altogether. Anna doesn't dare to follow it. Anna didn't know when she eventually fell asleep in that wardrobe, but she did know when she woke as she collapsed through the doors and face planted the carpet. Jesus Christ! Ow! Slowly, she stands up, wincing at how her body aches after being stuck in such a small space for most of the night. She looks around the room, which, with the sunlight streaming in, appeared far more comforting and normal than it did the night before. Okay, time to assess the damage. Despite that distinct sound of breaking glass from last night, all the windows were untouched. She studied them carefully, looking for even the smallest hint of damage, but there was none. God, don't tell me I was hearing things as well. She sits down on the sofa, staring at her reflection in the TV. Then she turns around to look at the counter. She thought back to the letter and how it suddenly disappeared, and how where she sits, that wooden eye stares back at her in some way that the monster glass eye had when they had met face to face. She stands up, realizing now the true importance of the eye and thanking herself repeatedly for not throwing it away yesterday. Maybe, unlike what a typical horror movie would tell you, this creature was nice. All it may want was a place to stay, somewhere to eat and rest its head, and it just happened Anna was the unfortunate one who had to accommodate it for now. And even if the creature had other plans, maybe if she played along and it didn't do anything to intentionally to anger it, she'd be able to survive until a new place to live becomes available. Okay, well, I better start somewhere. Better safe than sorry, I guess. I feel like one of the windows should be left open, so it can get in and out when it wants. That must have been why the window smashed last night, but which one? Open the bedroom window. I hope that's right. Should I leave something for the monster if it does get in? Pour a glass of water. That should be good enough. Maybe then it won't try to eat me. I hope. Alright, anything else? Turn the TV on to a sitcom. I hope that doesn't keep me awake during the night. She takes a deep breath. Okay, she starts half talking to herself and half to the eye itself. I hope this is good enough for you. You seem to like your eyes, I think. So this one can stay here. I won't touch it unless you want me to. Just, shout if you need anything. To her relief, no voice or song answers her. Only the gentle rustle of leaves and subtle howl of the wind from the outside. With Anna having no idea if what she'd done was correct or not, she'd made sure to lock the bedroom door and buy a wooden bat for protection, which she kept safe under her bed. That way, if someone were to break in, she'd hopefully be able to protect herself against any intruders. She sat at the bed, not bothering to dress in her pajamas, watching the door intently. Does this thing even have a specific time when it wants to show up? She thought, looking over at the clock. Compared to last night, the monster was nearly 2 hours late. I swear to God, if my new meds are making me hallucinate all this. A soft thump interrupts her, and she leaps up from her bed in shock. As quickly and as quietly as she can, she reached under the bed and grabbed the bat, holding it tightly with both hands. Yet, she pauses when she hears that distinctively short melody under the loud drone of the TV. Slowly, she lets herself relax, knowing very well who it was. She doesn't have to look to tell the monster is at her door, singing to her. Was it trying to soothe her? Put her at ease? In its own odd way, it did work as Anna slowly let go of the bat. Better you than an actual burglar, I guess. She returns to the bed and lays her head on the pillow, listening to the monster for a few moments longer. She can hear it walking around the house, guessing what it was doing with each creak and tap against the floor. I just hope you don't have any friends I also have to deal with. There's only so many nighttime frights I can deal with. She sighs, feeling her eyes start to close. And I thought my days were dealing with weird roommates was over. Despite the level of terror Anna had felt last night, she had somehow fallen asleep, this time actually in bed. Eventually, she was able to drag herself out of bed, walking back into the kitchen. Anna looks over to the kitchen counter now, somewhat used to the wooden eye and making sure it was still there. As always, it hadn't moved, simply staring off into nothing like it always did. You know, in any other instance I'd get rid of you. But with the way life's going right now, I don't think I'll take my chances. With nothing important to do that day, Anna decides to travel to a small nearby town, hoping to find a local bookstore for something to read at home. Plus, for now, she'd rather spend as much time as possible out of the house. After only a few minutes of searching, she was able to find what she was looking for. A small shop tucked away in a rather elusive alleyway. Upon walking in, she said hello to a single cashier and wandered over to the fiction section. Many covers caught her eye, such as one with a three-headed beast with skulls for faces, another with a large aquatic serpent poking its head above water as its long body faded into the depths, and third, a tall humanoid creature with moose-like antlers that wore a wooden mask. Eventually, she settled on the last book, intrigued by the plot's short summary and unique art style, and returns to the cashier. Hi, I'd like to buy this book, please. The cashier smiled politely and took it from her outstretched hand. In turn, Anna reached for her wallet, but as she opens it, she's shocked to see it had been completely emptied. Not even a single coin can be found inside, only her ID. I'm sorry, it seems I don't have any money or my cards on me. Slowly, the cashier pulls the book back. Are you sure? Mm-hmm. I must have left the house empty-handed somehow. I'm so sorry. That's quite alright. Forgetting something can happen to anyone. Just make sure to check next time. Anna felt her cheeks burn with embarrassment. Even if the cashier's words were kind, it was clear in their voice they were annoyed they had lost an important sale. After all, who goes shopping with no money? Yeah, of course. Still confused over the day's events, Anna lay in bed and stares up at the ceiling. She she knew the money had been in the wallet before she'd left the house. She'd seen it with her own two eyes. And the streets have been empty. So it wasn't like someone had brushed past her, slipped a hand in and taken the money. As if that would even be possible without an incredible amount of skill. Suddenly, her thoughts are interrupted by a sharp knock at her bedroom door. She freezes, staring at the gap under the door. There's a faint thump of something being placed on the floor, followed by that all too familiar hum. But when she refuses to move for a lengthy period of time, the shadow returns. Once again, the monster knocks on her door and vanishes. Trying to steady her breathing, Anna gets out of bed and walks towards the door. Don't worry, you got this. Just unlock the door and take a quick peek. Don't look anywhere else, just at the ground. Maybe it's trying to help me after today. Trying to think positive thoughts does little to help her calm down. So knowing she has to appease the monsters knocking somehow, she turns the lock and opens it, just a crack, staring intently at the carpet. Thankfully, there is nothing horrific to be found when the door opens, only that small wooden eye. Carefully, she picks it up, noticing it had developed a fine layer of dust from where it had sat on the counter. She goes to wipe the eye on her shirt when a loud grunt makes her jump and turn towards the kitchen. The monster stands in a low light, its impressive height making it graze the ceiling. Seeing her body in full, Anna struggled to make sense of her anatomy. Her legs faces the correct way as did the torso, but the arms had seemingly been flipped around completely. Most striking of all was the bright blue scar around her neck, which looked as though it had been broken long ago, or perhaps even reattached in a haphazard and awkward manner. Despite how odd and painful the pose looked, she seemed to be perfectly fine in her current state, as she made no sound, not even a soft whimper. Now that she had Anna's attention, she steps to one side, opening up a path to the kitchen or to the bathroom. She watches Anna with an expressionless gaze, wondering what her next move will be. Use the bathroom sink. Not wanting to be in the same room as the monster for even a second longer, Anna flees to the bathroom, shoving the eye into the sink and turning the tap on, only to feel her stomach drop when she realizes her mistake. The water was still filthy, having not been touched since she first moved in, and because of that, the eye was now covered in thick, pasty grime. Oh shit. She turns around so she can use the clean water of the kitchen sink instead, only to find her path blocked. In that short span of time of her running to the bathroom, the monster's single eye had changed. Now it glazed over the milky, like that from a long dead corpse. Although the monster did not make a sound, she knew very well why. She was standing there. Then, as if prompted by an unspoken command, she forces herself into the room, the wooden frame of the door seemingly bending and twisting as though the monster were willing it to do so. Wait, hold on. I can fix this. Alright, that should be the last box sorted. Habib looks over her new home, admiring her hard work. She was lucky the previous tenant had decided to leave all of their furniture behind, and that she had to bring was her own personal belongings. You know, I hope the furniture is at least good quality. Guess I'll just have to test it out. And by that, I mean, let's watch some TV. She turns around, checking everything has been put away before she sits down, only to immediately pause. Huh? What's that? Her gaze falls on the kitchen counter, where she spies something she hadn't seen once during the move. Had the men who helped her move left it there? She steps closer. It's a letter and a wooden eye? Bad ending. A never-ending loop. Well, there we go, guys. That was House of Eyes by Goldie Claus. And pretty interesting story. Or yeah, pretty interesting story, right? I guess this. Mhm. You might be wondering why I chose to not follow the rules. Well, that's because I want you to find out what happens when you do choose or when you do follow the rules. I wonder what happens. What is this prize that you do get when you do follow the rules? Will it be good? Will she still die? What happens? I don't know. Go play the game yourself. Alright then. Off to the next story, which is The Doll Maker's Shop. So the Doll Maker's Shop was made by Sycamore Nest. But before that, I will need to use the bathroom. So give me a moment. Well, good evening there, Viking Sun. How did your day go? Well, as for me, I am just reading stories from the internet, or stories submitted to the Spooktober Jam. And I'm now going to read the third story of the night, which is The Doll Maker's Shop. Also, I don't know if you noticed, but I did buy a new microphone. Anyway, let me just get ready. The Doll Maker's Shop by Sycamore Nest. I see. You have awoken in this new world. Do not let your lack of a body bother you too much for the time being. It means that you are now free. I will ask you for your name soon, but keep what I'm about to tell you in mind. Who were you in the past does not matter. The name you were given, the weight it carries. None of that is important in this new world. So pick one to your heart's content. Perhaps you will still pick the name that you have always known yourself by. That too is a fine option. Now then, little soul, tell me who you are. My name is Jean. I see. Jean is what you have chosen. Do you know the Latin saying, nomen est omen? Your name says a lot about you, and could even hint towards the future. You look confused. There's no need to be. In a few moments, you will wake up once again and see more than just this endless void. You will still have no body, but can possess objects and move them around. In the past, souls would go on a journey to find a suitable body before their next journey could start. Nowadays, however, that has become a lot easier. Find someone who can see and hear you and ask them about the doll maker. That is all I have to say to you. Good luck out there, little soul. The scene I woke up to when I had finally left that void behind was one of many lights and sounds. A street with neon signs left and right, under a night sky that showed little to no stars. There was no moon either, but I could tell if it did not exist in here or simply wasn't showing itself at the time. Various kinds of people moved over the pavement, chattering and smiling. It was rather crowded. I floated over the street. It appeared like my body was but a small floating shape that did or could not make contact with objects. For now, it was time to try and talk to a few passerbys. I think we took a wrong turn a little while ago, my lady. Oh, really? Are you 100% sure? Yes. We were supposed to be standing in front of a hotel with a blue sign, according to the directions. I'm sure we'll get there eventually if we just keep walking. Great. Great. People as lost as I am. I still decided to approach them. Hello? Well, if you say so. They completely ignored me. Try asking them again. I raised my voice and tried to ask them for directions again. Sorry, could I ask for some directions? Confidence, Sasha. Have some more of that, and you'll see that everything is completely fine. I know. I'm not doubting you, my lady. They moved on, passing me by without ever noticing me. It was safe to assume that these were not people who can see and hear me, as that voice mentioned. I sighed, but quickly began to look around once more. I just got unlucky this once. There was no reason to give up just yet. Hey! A person shouted at me, waving his arms around enthusiastically until I would notice him. I floated towards him. So you were having trouble trying to get your presence known. We've all been there, don't let it get to you. Okay. How come you can see me though? Like, what's the difference between those who can see me and those who can't? Well, for beginners, they're not souls, but you and I are. That difference aside, only living people who are spiritually sensitive usually find out about our presence, and that in varying degrees. But once you have a body like I do, you can still talk to them as much as you like. Wait, you're like me? But you don't look like you possessed an object. You look alive. Ah, thanks. You should have heard of the doll maker by now, right? Yeah, a voice told me. Good. Not all Souls guides are kind enough to share that information. He's probably the only person who can make a body like this. I heard it was such a huge game changer for the long-term souls here. So, where can I find him? Oh, right. That's the most important question here. He turned around and pointed at the large red sign in the distance. See that sign? There's an alley just past it. If you take the first street to your left, then you should bump right into it. It looks kinda old, mostly brown exterior with some large windows. Thank you, the name's Kai. Thanks, Kai. I'm Jean. No problem at all. Maybe we'll see each other around again, Jean. If so, you're gonna have to tell me your name again first, cause you'll probably have a cool body by then. I hope so. Bye for now. Bye-bye. With an improved mood, I decided to follow Kai's directions to this mysterious doll maker. I passed the sign, entered the small alley, and continued until I found the first street on my left. I looked around for a little while, searching for the building that matched the description I was given. And indeed, I found a little old-looking shop. There was still light inside, so I assumed it was open for business. But right when I approached the shop, someone came walking out. It was an odd figure. He wore a large wizard hat, and his clothes were vastly different from the clothes I'd seen other people wear. Little stars dangled from his hat, swinging along with every slight movement. In his arms he carried a sign. I couldn't read all of it, but in large letters I could see "closed" on it. He hummed the simple tune as he placed down the sign. That now clearly conveyed the shop would be closed for a full week. "Oh no," I whined. It wasn't supposed to be loud enough for anyone to hear, but this wizard proved otherwise. He turned around to face the source of the noise. "Oh, I don't think I've seen you before." A surprisingly young voice. I wanted to make eye contact, but the upper half of his face was concealed behind the mask. "It appears you've come at a bad time to enter my little shop. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to start whining right away." "There's no need to be sorry. This is quite the streak of bad luck. Are you new here? Or did you decide that today's the day you want to get a brand new body?" "No, I just arrived here. I was told you could help me." "And that I can." But what to do? There's so much I still need to prepare, and so little time left. Offer to help. "What is it you need to prepare? Maybe I could help." "Do you suggest we help each other then? That's kind of you." "Fine. If you lend me a hand with the preparations, I can offer you a body, for now. I don't have time to make a custom one, but you're free to come by again for that when I open my shop again next week. There are enough leftover materials to give you some options though, so don't worry about it too much about receiving a body that does not suit you." "Okay, that works for me. What exactly should I do to help you?" "Let's discuss that inside, That ought to be more comfortable than out here in the streets." "Okay." The doll maker held the door open for me, and it closed behind him again as he followed me inside. Welcome to my humble little shop, or the first part of it at least. It didn't quite look like I'd expected. There were so many shelves with all sorts of decorative items on them. A bit of everything, so to say, but no signs of actual dolls. "Is this where you make bodies?" "No, not exactly. I do that in the back, and store materials and extra decorations here. It is a little more welcoming than having artificial body parts all over the place." Can't imagine why. I placed down a couch as well and wanted to offer a drink for my clients, but that didn't turn out too well, since you can't really sit down or consume anything. "But I hope it's a little to your liking at least." "It is." "That's good to hear. Now then, what may I call you?" You can just call me Jean." "Jean. That's a really nice name. You may refer to me as the Doll Maker, since that seems to be the name everyone here knows me by. Normally, I would listen to your request for a body and put it together within a few days, but we're both on a little time constraint here." "Wait, it takes a few days?" "Of course. I would only offer the finest quality, and that is unusually not created within a day." "What do souls do while they wait then?" "They usually explore the city. There are enough places to visit to fill multiple days with. But since I'm closed for a full week, that would leave you without a body for too long. And this world only gets new souls a few times a month. Your timing was rather unlucky, since I don't close shop often out of worry that I will leave souls waiting. Or maybe you were lucky after all, since you came by in the nick of time. In any case, make yourself comfortable, take a look around, I'll bring you some parts so you can pick whatever you like. Wasn't I supposed to help you out first? Now, there's not much helping to be done without a body, is there? Right. I know you couldn't just bolt out once you have what you want, but I'll put some trust in you. I wouldn't do that. I won't run off on you. I promised that I would help. You're a kind soul. What are the preparations for, anyhow? They're for tonight's celebrations. And those celebrations, what are those for? Halloween, of course! A special night where the spirit world and the human world overlaps, and then they get to meet once again. In this world does not work like that though. It already exists as a sort of in-between place for unsatisfied souls who want to experience more, and living beings who like to live here for various reasons. I moved here then when I decided I would use my magic for the souls here, and brought the event of Halloween with me. Most souls here love to party. Additionally, they seem to have a lot of gratitude towards me for the work I do. So, we do this every year. It's been a pretty big success so far. Now, give me a minute. Huh? Even though he looked eccentric, he turns out to be a pretty nice so far. Like he suggested, I floated through the room and took a better look at many items inside. Even though this was the first part of the store, it was surprisingly large. Which place should I check out? Lounge area. There was a smaller area with a couch that the wizard had mentioned before, and a coffee table along with it. Even if souls couldn't really use it, maybe he would use it instead. There would be little reason to keep it around if not. On the coffee table, I found a large carved pumpkin. If I'd seen this before, maybe I could have guessed on my own that it was nearly time for Halloween. It was so simple, yet my eyes were drawn to it. So, did you find anything interesting? I hadn't even noticed him re-enter the room. He was carrying many parts from the workshop with him. Yeah, you could say that. Good. If you have any additional ideas, you could always tell me. Bring up what you saw earlier. Actually, I might have one. I saw something interesting just now. It may sound a little silly, but I saw this carved pumpkin on the coffee table. Oh yes! The one that I made earlier today. I've been busy carving those all day as decorations for later. So, what's your idea? Pumpkinhead. I want a pumpkinhead. Eh? I'm sorry, I knew it was a silly idea. No, not at all. It was just a little unexpected. I like the way you think. You're a very creative person, aren't you? I'll have to see how I can make it work, but it shouldn't be too hard. Yay, I can't wait. And you're aware that you're going to be walking around with a pumpkin head for a few days after Halloween too? I nodded, but soon realized that wasn't possible in my current form. Yes sir, if possible, I want the body to be as tall and spooky. I'll be the Pump King. My, you're excited about the pumpkin thing, huh? If you'd like, you can watch me put everything together for you. The doll maker placed all the plastic body parts he'd be carrying around with him. Then he picked up a carved pumpkin on the table. Don't worry about its expression. With a little magic, I can make it so that you can give it any expression you'd like. With growing excitement, I watched the wizard assemble all the body parts into a body suited for one and only pumpkin to be. There we go. all ready for you to get into. It looks perfect. Thank you so much. Why, it was a pleasure to make this on such a short notice. Go on, possess this new vessel of yours, and I'll link you to it with some magic. If I'm linked to it, can I still get out of that body? Of course. Being linked to it simply means that other souls can possess it, and that you'll be able to let it mimic your own expressions. Wow, that's pretty useful. Let's do this then. I floated towards this pumpkin-headed vessel and went inside. The feeling of possessing an object was indescribable. It was like learning how to move all over again. I didn't know what to do. Luckily, it rested against the couch, unable to fall over unless I made some real haphazard movements. Alright, don't stress out. It may be hard to move right away, but after this spell, it will feel just like having a real living body. He lifted up a hand and placed it onto the body. He recited lines of text in a language that I could not understand nor recognize. Light came from my palms of his hand and enveloped the body, my body, underneath. When the light faded again, it didn't look like anything had changed. It was when I brought up my head to feel a large pumpkin making up my head that I realized I could move everything perfectly fine. It really worked! Of course it did. I'd been doing this for quite a long time. Come on. Let me help you with your preparations now. Can't wait for the party to begin. Whoa there. Your excitement has skyrocketed now. Take it easy. There's quite a few things that need to be carried to the party. I'll handle the fragile things while you get used to this new body of yours. Let me know if you feel weird or have any problems. I'll make sure to fix you right up. Got it. The two of us spent the rest of the evening working together to set up all the decorations at the location the doll maker had chosen, right next to a forest. He told me more about this world too, how the sun only came up one week per year, the people who lived here besides souls, and how he'd ended up working in this world. Even if us helping each other out was supposed to be an equivalent exchange, I couldn't help but feel like I was here for a good time the whole evening. The moon had risen high up into the sky by the time we finished everything. Some light already came out of my pumpkin head and some of the lamps was decorated the area. But everything became even clearer when he lit a large bonfire in the middle of the field. Thank you all for your help, Jean. I'm sure this will be a wonderful celebration. It's the least I could do. After all you've done for me today, I feel like there's more I could do. In fact, I'll make completely sure that this is the greatest Halloween celebration ever. I'll show all the attendants that the pumpkin is here at last. Oh, you want to cause some scares tonight? You sure are an interesting little soul. Just enjoy the party. Maybe scaring others is not the right way to put it. I wouldn't want to upset your guests, so I'll just make sure they have loads of fun. That sounds good to me. We'll both have a lovely time, won't we? Of course. The party attracted an even larger crowd than I had anticipated. However, with the doll maker nearby to check up on me every now and then, I had loads of fun. I got to know new people. I got complimented on the vessel I had chosen. After that night, I knew that the second life I'd been given would be a good one. one to cherish. There was nothing more I could wish for, as for now. The end. The Dollmaker's Shop, a Spooktober Jam submission by Sycamore Nest. Art, GUI design, writing by Umbros at Sycamore's Nest. Backgrounds were created with images from pexels.com. Music, main menu theme by Jordy Hake, opengameart.org. City theme by OMFG Dude, opengameart.org. Shop theme by Migfus20, opengameart.org. Credits theme by Tad Miller, opengameart.org. Eerie Techno Game Open and Stepping Out by Eric Matias, soundimage.org. Thank you for playing. Alright, and that was the Dollmaker's Shop. So, I mean, that was just one of the vessels that you could possess. I wonder what the other vessels are. Well, if you want to know, you can go download the game yourself. You can go and download the game yourself and look at whatever the other vessels are. Could be interesting. We don't know. But yes. And with that, let's move on to our next story. And our next story will be... Let's see. Our next story will be The Witch's Name. Wait a minute, sorry. The Witch's Name. Oh. So The Witch's Name was made by Altilla. There we go. So let me just go and get ready. The Witch's Name by Altilla. According to the folklore, long time ago, there was an evil, immortal witch in the village. When she was angry, her anger prevented the rain from falling and summoned the heat wave and long dry season. When she was sad, her sorrow would bring an endless rain until her tears stopped. And when she was bored, she would playfully summon a storm and tornado. With her magic power, she would also randomly curse the villagers so they fell sick. The villagers couldn't take it anymore. Around this time of year, The villagers joined force and captured the witch. They did a ritual to seal her power and exiled her into the depth of the forest. With that, the peace finally returned to the village, or so they said. Still, the seal would weaken in time. When her power returned, her wrath would bring disaster once again to the village. Thus, a certain ritual was held to seal her power once again. But, since the witch wasn't here, a substitute was used. And that substitute this time is me. That day, the village chief and a group of villagers came to my doorstep. Those people were wearing various expressions while avoiding my eyes. Guilt, indifference, relief, and I could tell one of them were trying to hold back a smile. Whatever they were here for, it was probably nothing good. The witch has once more brought down her curse upon us. That's why we need to hold a ritual to calm her wrath. Then the chief looked at me. Forgive us, Joan, but we need you to be part of it. In an instant, I could grasp the meaning of his words. We have no other choice but to do this. This is for the village. Please understand, Joan. I couldn't respond, although, in the first place, they didn't have any intention to hear my respond. I felt like my blood was drained and my whole body became cold. The chief, with his old wrinkled hands, hugged my body and gently stroked my back. However, I couldn't feel any warmth. Not on his words, not on his hug, and most definitely, not on the pair of eyes staring at me. Deep down, I knew it would eventually come to this. My reputation in the village wasn't the best. If anything, it was probably the worst. They disliked me because of my eyes. They said my eyes was scary. Apparently, the witch also had purple eyes, just like me. Not that they ever met the witch, though. Some people even referred to me as the witch herself, but I was a human just like them, not a witch. I wouldn't bring disaster to the village. I couldn't curse someone. I didn't even want to do any of those. This village was my only home. Still, they wouldn't believe me even if I said so. In this village, I had no parents, no friends, no allies. The only reason I was still allowed to be here was probably as insurance. So when the time came, they could offer me as a sacrifice to the witch. That moment actually came. This evening, the women in the village dressed me in nice clothes, which I didn't have a chance to wear before. During the ritual, they made me stand in the middle of a strange circle and read a long prayer alongside them. After that, they served me some good food and drinks. Somehow, I became sleepy. They probably mixed something there, sleeping drug, for example. When I was unconscious, they brought me here, somewhere in the forest. Before I was completely out, I saw one of the women in the village looked at me with pity, and then she said, "If you want to blame someone, blame the witch." Blame the witch, huh? I don't think that'll change anything. Still, there is nothing I can do but sigh. I don't know how to go back to the village in the first place. The substitute isn't supposed to come back. After all, the substitute represents the witch. Just like the witch, the substitute was left somewhere in the forest. It was said that the substitute's soul would act as a medium to seal the witch's power. To put it blatantly, we substitutes are human sacrifices. But that was what what has been keeping the village peaceful and prosperous away from the witch's curse. I wonder if the ritual actually works. I look at the sky. The sun has been setting and the sky is almost dark. Judging from it, I was sleeping for around an hour. No food, no drink, no light. There's nothing around me but woods and trees. Once it's completely dark, I don't know what will become of me. If I'm unlucky, I might encounter dangerous animals. I bitterly laugh at my current state. Even after they told me that I would be named as the substitute, I never really tried to escape. I was holding on the hope that they wouldn't proceed with the ritual. Or something might, by any chance, prevented the ritual to take place, or someone with a shred of humanity would save me. Until the last minute, I still hoped so. I must be a fool to believe in such fantasy. Even now, I just can't get rid of my tiny little hope that someone will get me out of this place. I know it won't come true, but I just want to believe in something. Still, I can't just stay here. First, I should look for a place to stay tonight. I carefully walk around the forest to search for a place. The lack of lighting makes it difficult to see the path. Moreover, my outfit keeps getting stuck on something, making it even harder to proceed. I walk and walk and walk. Although I don't know where I'm heading or where I'm supposed to go, I continue to walk. While walking, I picked some edible plants and fruits to eat. I walk, racing with the light that continued to fade away. Without waiting for me to find the proper place, the night comes. It'll be dangerous to walk around at night. There is no choice. We'll just stay here tonight. I hope there won't be any dangerous animals. I sit down near a big rock and eat some fruits I picked before. As expected, when the night falls, it's getting chilly. Even though I'm wearing a cloak, the coldness still seeps to my skin. I rub my hands together, making myself warmer, then examine my surroundings. My eyes have adjusted to the darkness, so at least I can still see around myself to some extent. It finally occurred to me. I'm alone. When I listen to my surroundings, there are only sounds of nature. The sound of buzzing bugs, chirping birds, rustling leaves, and other resounding sounds of forest animals. Honestly, they sound spooky. The usual voices aren't here. No sounds of civilization, no human voice, no human's presence. Shiver runs down my spine. For the first time, I feel frightened of being alone. Although I was by myself all the time in the village, technically, I have neighbors. There were still people around me. I was never completely alone. Being all by yourself in a wild like this is terrifying. I hold my knees and shut my eyes. I'm scared. If the witch really exists, if the villagers actually exiled her to this kind of place, doesn't that mean she had been all alone this whole time? If our village has been doing this ritual from time to time, then those substitutes, did they die alone somewhere in this forest? Alone? In solitude? Am I going to die alone too? Perhaps it's because of the darkness in the atmosphere, but my mind starts to cloud as if enveloped by a thick fog. No, I don't want to. I don't want to be alone. I want to go home. Someone, please help me. Someone. Father? Mother? I start to call out to anyone, but I cannot think of a name. That anyone is basically no one. Anyone is fine. Even the witch is fine. If you really are out there, please, somehow, please save me. Suddenly, a strong cold wind blows. I open my eyes, stand up and look around me. Somehow, the surrounding atmosphere seems to change. The sound that I have been hearing suddenly disappears, as if the world has gone silent. I haven't moved, but I feel like I'm on a completely different place. Or maybe a different dimension? What I can say is that the forest becomes creepier. Suddenly, I can hear the sound of broken twigs nearby. I quickly turn around to the direction of the sound. Someone appears from a nearby bush. It's a man with animal ears and tail. Seeing his unusual appearance, I rub my eyes to make sure I'm not seeing things. It turns out I'm not. Is he human? But what's with the ears and tail? Are you a human? Hearing my question, the man laughs. Human? Ah, you gotta be kidding me. Do I look like a human to you? No. Right. I'm not. Then, a ghost? No, you have legs. Then, am I dreaming? Am I hallucinating right now? Or could it be... Am I dead? Dead? What are you talking about? What do you think so? Well, I decide to tell the man about what happened to me until now, about the ritual, and about the witch. I see. As expected of them. He seems to know about something about the villagers. Sailing the witch's power with such a ritual. Do you seriously believe in those? Well, probably. I'm not quite sure, but I guess there is a possibility that it might work. I see. Fair enough. But I can't imagine the so-called witch could be defeated with some kind of cheap trick. Cheap trick, huh? I guess it is. Anyways, no worries. As far as I can tell, you are still alive. And this is neither your hallucination, neither your dream. Unfortunately, this is reality. I'm still alive. Thank goodness. But is this really a good thing? I bit my lips and shift my gaze downward. I can't really tell. Is it really okay? After all, I have no place to go and no place to come back. At least not until bad things that happen to the village disappear. Maybe if I can somehow negotiate with the witch. One question suddenly appears in my mind. Something that I or anyone in the village ever questioned before. Does the witch actually exist? The immortal witch has been labeled as the source of misfortune and disaster to the village, but no one in the village ever sees the witch. Nobody knows how she looks like. The thought of that The thought that she probably doesn't exist makes my body tremble. If she doesn't exist, then what am I here for? What's wrong? I lift my head and stare directly into the cat-like eyes. Does she really exist? The witch, I mean. Maybe, just maybe, this person by any chance might know about the witch. Please, please, please say that she's real. Are you saying that you don't know about that? Even though you got sacrificed for the witch? Yes, unfortunately. The man laughs again. Humans sure is stupid. Well, I couldn't agree more. After all, I am also a human. A stupid, foolish being. She exists. She is? Yes, she is. How can you be so sure? You're the one asking, but you're doubting me? Fine, I'll tell you. I'm a demon. My eyes widened in surprise. I can't believe my own ears. Demon? Right. Never heard of one before? You said I didn't look like a human. True, because I'm a demon. I shake my head. No one has ever talked about a demon in the village. As for myself, I've never thought about the existence before. About that, I'm sorry? The man, claiming himself as a demon, just shrugged. Demons exist, as well as the witch. Good news for you, I even personally know this immortal witch you are talking about. He knows about her? Right. I hope my ears aren't playing tricks on me. I mean, I just heard something great. She exists! The immortal witch exists! I can't describe just how relieved I am to hear that she's not just a made-up character. About the witch. You know her, right? Then, do you know where she is? Please let me meet her. The demon tilts his head while looking with my furrowed eyebrows. You wanna meet her? Yes, please. Why? Why? That's because I want to help the village. Huh? Right now, it's very bad in the village. The crops haven't been looking too good for these past years. We have crops failures and not enough harvest. It hasn't rained for months. Our river and well are almost dry. The water isn't enough for irrigation and everyday stuffs. Our food and water supply is depleting, and people are getting sick. Not to mention there was a tornado recently. And you think those are because of the witch's curse? That's... Well, I'm not sure about it myself, but it's possible. That's why I needed to see her. I have to meet the witch. I have to make sure whether she is the one causing all of those or not. And if she is, I want to know why and stop her. My voice cracked out of nervousness. My hands are trembling, but I want to clearly tell him my intention. Maybe he will let me meet the witch. I'll look at him, hoping he will feel my desperation. But instead he laughs. In an instant, the demon moves closer. I don't even see him move, but when I blink, he's already right in front of me. Surprised, I take a step back. Are you dumb? Huh? The demon grins. I can see those fangs of his. They look sharper up close. The demon grins. I can see those fangs of his. They look sharper up close. Then, he points his index finger at me. His long, sharp nails just an inch away from my skin. I can't help but shudder. You got sacrificed, thrown into the forest, but you still want to help them? You should get mad, seek revenge, ask the witch to curse them or something. Show those villagers that they're just reaping what they sow. Speechless, I can only try to stare at my own reflection on the demon's dilated eyes. There's hatred and frustration mixed in his gaze as he shouted at me. Maybe he was just doing a thing that demons do, whispering humans to do malicious things. However, it might be my imagination or my wishful thinking, but I feel like he is getting mad in my stead. Still, I cannot agree with him. To be honest, the things he said just now, they never really crossed into my mind. But if I do that, they will hate me. I don't want to hate because I don't want to be hated. Even if I was ignored, even if I was disliked, I endured it. I didn't want them to hate me even more. I told myself that I shouldn't be greedy. I was fine with just being there, having a place to call home. Now that I'm here, I don't know what to feel. I just want to go back, but I have nowhere to return to but that village. If I can't convince the witch and help the village, maybe they'll let me return. You know that is impossible. They sent you here. That means they don't want you to return. I bit my lower lip in frustration. Even without him telling me, I already know that. But if I do something like that, I won't be any different from the witch. Huh? The demon frowns. The atmosphere surrounding him began to change. He was smirking and laughing like a maniac a while ago, but there's not even a single trace of smile on his face right now. His eyes look like they are peeking deep into my soul. It feels like I'm gazing into the abyss. He raises his hand to touch his chin, as if he is thinking about something. I notice that his nails are somehow larger than before. I gulp. Now that I think again, he did say he is a demon. Probably noticing my nervous stare, he smirks and licks the tail of his... Probably noticing my nervous stare, he smirks and licks that nail of his. The sight makes me even more anxious than scared. Suddenly, he bursts into laughter. I'm both startled and confused by his action. Nervously, I take a step back, but in response, he takes a step forward. Witch this, witch that. Shut up, will you? You guys don't even know anything about her. Huh? I guess we haven't introduced ourselves. I'm a demon. Also, I'm that witch's familiar. When I heard this introduction, my heart skipped a beat. The witch's familiar? Right. I'm her loyal companion, her black cat. Oh no. Does that mean I was slandering his master all this time? No need to be scared. I'm not mad at you. I flinch as he hits bullseye. The demon laughs as he takes some steps back. My fear is probably amusing him. Still, I'm a little annoyed that you and those villagers talk about my witch like that. That's why, let's play a game. Huh? I said, let's play a game. A game? I'm not sure if I follow. I'll let you meet the witch, burn down your village or anything you wish for. I will do whatever you say, but only if you win the game. If I lose? Well, if you lose, I will just leave you here all alone like before. You're not going to eat me? Wow. Are you that confident that you will taste good? I bet someone as dumb as you will taste gross though. I don't know whether I should be relieved because I won't be eaten or offended. That aside, this is a perfect opportunity. If I want to meet the witch, what do you say? Are you in? Sure, I will participate. What's the game? Well, it's easy. You only need to guess the witch's name. The witch's name? Yes, your village told a lot of stories about that witch, so it should be easy, right? You can start by guessing now, by the way. I try to dig up my memories, but nothing comes to mind. Now that he mentioned it, even though I heard a lot of bad things about the witch, Now that he mentioned it, even though I heard a lot of bad things that the witch did, no one ever mentioned her name. That's weird. I can only look blankly at the ground. I don't know her name, but if I can't answer this, I can't meet her. What should I do? Okay then, if you're ready, let's go. The demon smirks and pulls something from a small bag in his waist. It's a small crystal emitting a dim light. Huh? What now? What are you surprised of? Do you think I will make you guess out of nothingness? Huh? Are you not? That will be too boring. I mean, I bet neither you nor other villagers know her name. Then how? Use this. The demon shoves a crystal to my face. What is that? This is a fragment of the witch's memories. Her memories? Right. I told you, right? You guys know nothing about her. Not her name, not how she is like, not how her life is. I don't like the idea of someone like that to meet my witch. That's why I'm letting you meet her. That's why I'm letting you meet the past her here. You should be thankful. For a demon, he sure said some good things. Anyway, let's do this. Oh, wait! Without waiting for me to get mentally ready, the demon grabs my hand. I feel like my consciousness is fading and my body feels light. The next second, everything became pitch black. When she was still alive, the witch's mother used to say that she shouldn't use her power. The witch shouldn't let others know about her power's existence. Once they knew, people would be scared. If she got found out, she would be hated. After all, many people couldn't accept things that were different from them. Then, she would lose her home, the place she belonged to. Of course, the witch didn't want that to happen, so she promised her mother that she would never use her power. The witch loved the village, the place where she spent her time and her childhood with her mother. She loved that place more than the faraway sea that her mother used to talk about. Slowly, I can feel my consciousness return. I feel like I just saw something, like a dream. I cannot clearly recall it, but I think it belongs to the witch. Oi! Open your eyes already. When I opened my eyes, I can see a familiar scenery. Familiar, but something is different. This place. My village? The demon laughs. Yes and no. What do you mean? We are inside the witch's memories. So this place is your village, but in the past. I see. So, where is the witch? The demon points at the woman who are already heading towards our way. Suddenly, I remember that people in the village said that my eyes have the same color as the witch. That woman, just like me, has purple eyes. Turns out their words were true. My eyes follows her movement as she walks closer. The more I look at her, the more I doubt that she is evil, immortal, that she is the immortal evil witch mentioned in the folklore. I thought the witch would look scary and arrogant, but she looks calm and docile. Excuse me! I tried to call out to her, but she didn't respond. Did she not hear me? To my surprise, the witch walks past me. She didn't even look at me as if I'm a ghost. Huh? Seeing what I just did, the demon burst into laughter. Are you dumb? Seriously, are you dumb? I told you, this is just memories, but you went and tried to talk to her. Oh, please. Bewildered, I look at the demon who is laughing so much. Look at this. The demon tried to grab the witch with his hand, decorated with long, sharp nails. If he touches her, the nails would definitely hurt her. My body moves on reflexes to stop the demon, but something weird happened. His hand passes through her? We are spectators here. We can watch, but we cannot interact with them. Of course, they cannot see us either. I see. After hearing his explanation, I sigh in relief. Then my focus shifted back to the witch. There are two men walking from opposite direction, one of them holding a sickle. As soon as they saw the witch, they smile. Good afternoon. Are you going somewhere? Oh, good afternoon. I need to deliver something to the chief. If it's the chief, I think he'll still be on the field. Yes. He looked really dejected about the crops. I mean, us too, but... Are they not looking good? Not a good harvest. Well, we did what we can, but the drought is just bad this year. I see. Anyway, the two of us need to get back. Yeah, well, thank you for telling me. No problem. See you later. The witch and the two men walk to the opposite direction. When the men are rather far away, I can hear them whispering. She is beautiful today too, Miss M. True, her looks is better than most girls in the village. If only she would smile more. Haha, you are right. The men continue to chat as they walk away. Neither the men nor the witch can be seen anymore, but my eyes still fixated on the place where they exchanged words before. I can barely digest the information that I just got. The woman referred as the witch doesn't look like an evil person at all. She looked like on a friendly term with the villagers, if anything. They seem to fancy her. What's wrong? No, I'm just confused. Confused? This is just the beginning, you know? There's still more to watch. I take a deep breath. He's right. It's only the beginning. No matter what I see after this, I need to confront it calmly. By the way, don't you forget your purpose here. Yes, I need to find clues to guess her name. Glad you remember. Anyway, let's follow her. I run as fast as I can in order to catch up with the witch. The witch is sitting on the bench and an aunt and an old man who looks old enough to be her grandfather. He is probably the village chief that they mentioned before. Between them is a box of food inside. Aunt asked me to bring this to you. She said you need to eat and rest, Chief.
Thank you. This brings me back. Your mother used to deliver my lunch too, with my daughter. Now that I look at you, you really resemble Ingrain, your mother when she was your age.
Is that so? The chief smiles, but it soon fades.
At times, things are not like this.
The chief hangs his head down as he lets out a heavy sigh.
I wonder what's wrong with the village. It has been like this for the past few years. Drought, crops failure. Our well and river is drying. The food is depleting. The sickness is spreading. It's just as if we are cursed.
When I heard about the village's condition, I remember my own village. Going by the assumption that what happened to my village is the witch is doing, then she might be the one behind this too. However, I myself doubt that assumption. I mean, the so-called witch in front of me looks just as frustrated. I can see it clearly since I'm standing right in front of her. While listening to the chief, she bites her lower lip and clenched her fists. But why? I can't figure out why she has such an expression on her face. I try to lean closer. Why are you making a face like that? What are you thinking right now? Hey! I have so many questions to ask you right now. I know my words won't be able to reach her. My words will be left unheard. Still, I want to talk to her. I want to tell her that I want to know more about her. What kind of person are you? Are you a good person or a bad person? Why are you so different from what people said? Are you really the witch? I want to know the true her. Suddenly, everything becomes black. Before long, the scenery is back. Both I and the demon seems to be still in the past village.
Looks like the memories ended like that. Now, we're on a different part of our memories.
It ended so abruptly.
Hey, that's why it's called fragments. Anyway, look.
The demon points at the pink-haired woman. It's the witch. She's on the field with a black cat sitting on her lap. Upon closer inspection, she seems to be applying bandages to the cat's leg. It's really unusual for a cat to be in a place like this. Mr. Black Cat, are you lost? The cat meowed in return. For a moment, I thought the cat would speak in a human language. Of course, the cat just answered with a meow. After all, it's a cat. Are you alone? Me too. Despite knowing the cat can only answer with meow, the witch continued to talk to the cat. The cat, as if understands what the witch said, meow again. He comes closer to the witch and starts rubbing his cheeks on the witch. In return, he gets a head pat. I look at the cat, and then the demon, and back to the cat. I think I repeat it for 2 or 3 times, and the demon starts to look annoyed. What is it? Is that cat by any chance? Somehow I have a feeling that the black cat in front of us is the demon. But the demon next to me looked more human than the real cat. And he doesn't meow either. Right. That's me. Cute, right? But it's a cat. The demon giggled. Not like I'm a demon from the start. Then, just shut up and watch. Hey, Mr. Black Cat, can I tell you something? There's something bothering me, but I can't tell anyone about it. You see, I've been thinking, maybe I should use my powers after all. My mother told me never to use it, but the village is in trouble. The villagers are suffering from the drought. They even start to call it a curse. There's no magical energy, so I don't think it's a curse. I can help them. I want to help, but I have to keep my promise with my mother. Mr. Black Cat, I don't know what to do with this guilt. The witch hugs the cat. As if trying to comfort the witch, the cat caresses her cheeks with his paws. Thank you. The witch puts the cat down and gets up and tries to leave, but the cat follows her. What is it, Mr. Black Cat? You want to come with me? The cat meowed and proceeded to nuzzle his head to the witch's leg. Is that a yes? I see. Then I will take you with me. I heard a witch is usually accompanied with a black cat as her familiar. Guess you're my familiar now. Carefully, the witch lifts the cat up. A smile forms on her face as she looks at the cat. What should I call you? How about Elaine? Oh, you like it? Then let's take care of each other from now on, Elaine. Elaine. The name of the witch's black cat, as well as the name of the demon next to me. I don't know why, but the names somehow resonate with me. Why? I shouldn't have known that name. Just so you know, you're not allowed to call me with that name. It's reserved just for her. I understand. That was what I said, but in truth, I feel a little disappointed. One more thing. If you are wondering whether my name has anything to do with her name, the answer is no. It's just a random name she came up with. I see. Anyway, how is it? Have your thoughts about her changed a little? It's confusing. I don't know what to believe anymore. Are you sure this is the witch's memories? It is. But even if it's a fake, it doesn't matter. That doesn't affect the condition of our game. You still need to guess her name either way. I see. Ready to answer? Not yet. He's right. My objective is to find out her name. I should focus on that, and yet I feel like once we get out from the witch's memories, something inside me will change. In some ways, scared me. Once again, everything became black. Maybe just like before. It's time to change a memory. This time, the people seems busier but livelier than before. I look at my right and left, the soil is damp and I can smell the earth. The rain finally fell after months.
I hope with this rainwater can replenish our water storage even a little.
Is the dry season over?
No, it's not. It's the witch's doing.
Huh?
You might as well see it with your own eyes. Follow me.
The demon turns his back and starts walking. I quietly follow behind him. We walk towards this quite secluded place of the village. It's a field of tall grass. I think in my village, this place is now used as a place for the ritual. Among the tall grass stands a woman figure accompanied by a cat. Thank goodness the magic worked. This is my first time using magic after a long time. I was scared it would fail. The witch looks at her cat and smiles. You know, Elaine, I've decided. From now on, I will use my magic to help the villagers. When it's in drought, I will make it rain. When it's raining a lot, I will make it sunny. I will use my magic to protect this village. To protect my home. I know my mother told me not to, but if it's for this village, she will forgive me, right? Across the field, I can only stare at her blankly. She used her magic to help the village. She said she wanted to protect the village. Is this the truth? Then how did she become an evil being in the folklore I know? Just what happened here?
You will know soon.
After he said that memory comes into an end. Then we move into the part of the witch's memories. When we arrive, the demon frowns.
You better prepare yourself for this one.
Oh, okay. Because he said that, I became nervous all of a sudden. I take a deep breath, bracing myself to whatever might happen. From a distance, I can see the witch running while looking at her right and left. Her face is pale, and she seems to be out of breath, but she keeps running. Elaine? Elaine? Where are you, Elaine? Elaine! Elaine, please be safe. From the look of her face, it mustn't have been anything good. She doesn't look good. What happened? Why is she looking for you?
Rather than talking to me, shouldn't you chase after her?
You're right. Just as the demon suggested, we chase after the witch. Then, we arrive at the field with tall grass from before. Somehow, this time, our many people gathered around. When they noticed the witch, all of their attention shifted towards the witch. That's her! I look at the villagers. The way they look at the witch, those gaze, feel familiar to me. As the same one as the people from my village gave me. The intimidating, judging look as if I'm an evil being. There's a visible confusion on the witch's face. She takes a step back from the intimidation, but then her eyes widened when she looks at the ground. No way. A black cat lying on the ground. Elaine! The witch immediately rushed to the black cat. Then she notices the black cat is bleeding a lot. There are several wounds on its body. Elaine! Elaine! The cat is no longer moving, no longer breathing, is no longer alive. The witch grows even paler. Tears began to flow from her eyes to her cheeks as she holds her cat's lifeless body. Why, Elaine? Why are you doing this to him? Why? That should be our question. What? We know your true identity. What are you talking about? You're a witch, aren't you? I saw you the other day. You were here with that vile cat doing something suspicious. Then, all of a sudden, it was raining. You and your cat must have been doing something behind our backs. You have been manipulating the rain all this time, right? No, this is a misunderstanding. Then you must have put a curse on this village. This black cat must have been part of your curse, right? If not, what is a black cat even doing here in this village? I've never do such a thing. And Elaine doesn't have anything to do with it. You witch. There is no use denying it. Just admit your wrongdoings. Wrongdoings? No, It's true. I am a witch. It's true that I can make it rain. See? She finally admits it. No, listen to me. I'm doing it for the village. For the village? Yes. I want to help the village. I can't stand it anymore seeing the village suffering. So I've been trying to make the rainfalls here. If so, then why now? If you can do something like that, then why didn't you do it a long time ago? Why didn't you do something before it gets to this point? That's because... Enough of your excuses, you witch! Witch! You witch! It's all your fault. Yes, your fault. Your fault. You witch. It's your fault. They continued to shout those words at the dumbfounded witch. She tried to help the village, but they accused her. She tried to explain herself, but nobody believes her. Not the villagers at the time and not the villagers in the future. To think that I'm the one of those makes my stomach churn. She cannot say anything in return, knowing that nobody is willing to listen to her. Then, she just quietly carries the black cat's body away from the place. What in the world? I'm at a loss for what happened. My brain just stopped working. Hesitantly, I look at the demon. Did the villagers kill you? They killed a cat? That's right. Huh? But why? I don't understand. The demon laughs, but his eyes aren't. Just by looking at him, I can tell he holds quite a resentment towards those people. Human would naturally fear the unknown. For example, magic and witches. The same applies to black cats. There are people who believe black cats can bring bad luck. I was a normal cat though. My fur just happened to be black. I swear, you people are a bunch of idiots to believe in such superstition. I shut my eyes tight. My head hurts. My stomach hurts. My heart hurts. It's like being torn to pieces. I feel sick. I feel suffocated. I feel like I can't breathe. The witch. She was just like me. The things she experienced, they were also familiar to me. When I look at her, I feel like seeing myself, the pain she went through, as if it was as my own. Is this the demon playing tricks on me? Or is it really the past that I didn't know? What if it's the truth? Doesn't that mean everything about her and the people in my village said is a lie? I didn't know what I've been living under false stories all this time. Didn't I unknowingly antagonize her too? The reason I played this guessing game in the first place is to meet the witch. But now that I saw all of these, I start wavering. What should I say when I finally meet her What should I say when I finally meet her, the real her, face to face? Can I ask her to help the villagers? Will she forgive them? Will she forgive me? The witch had a familiar, a cat with black fur and amber eyes. To the witch, who no longer had parents, the cat was her only family. The cat, too, loved her very much. However, their peaceful days didn't last long. Although it was to help the village, the witch broke her promise with her mother. When the villagers found out that she was a witch, they started to blame her and accused her for their misfortune. The cat was furious. The cat knew that the witch was a very kind-hearted person. But the villagers didn't spare the witch and definitely not her cat. They killed the cat and chased the witch out from the village. Even in his death, the cat loathed the villagers. The feeling was so intense that it became to corrupt the cat's soul. When he realized he had obtained an appearance close to a human, his soul was reborn as a demon, a being with a dark soul as dark as an obsidian. That demon's name is Elaine. Oi, what are you doing? Open your eyes already. When I opened my eyes, we're on a different place. Looks like we moved memories when my eyes were closed. When I look around, I found the witch kneeling on the ground. In front of her there is a grave she made to bury her cat. I'm sorry, Elaine. This is all my fault. My mother was right. I shouldn't have used this power. Now, just as she feared, everyone hates me. It's not your fault. It's the fault of those Language, Elaine. I mean, those villagers is the one at fault, not you. My eyes widened in surprise when a familiar figure appeared. It's the demon. I rubbed my eyes and blinked several times. Looks like my eyes are just fine. Then, I look at my left. The demon is here. Huh? There are two of them? Not this again. When are you going to fix that dumbhead of yours? I'm still here. That one is my past self. Didn't I tell you we cannot interact with the people in the past? My head was a mess for a while, so I couldn't think straight. Now that I calmed down a bit, I realized that he is right. The one next to me is the demon, and the one next to the witch is Elaine. The witch shakes her head. The witch approaches Elaine. Hesitantly, she touches the demon's sigil on his chest. You, being a demon, is also my fault, right? No, it's not. Would you stop blaming yourself? You didn't do anything wrong. I'm sorry. Don't apologize. Elaine can only sigh. Anyway, what are you going to do now? They chased you out of the village. You can't go back there. I don't know. Should we burn the whole village down? Or should we just curse them all? No. Why? Let's teach those that they're just reaping what they sow. Elaine? No swearing. But why do you hate the idea of revenge so much? If I do that, they will hate me. They already do. I don't want them to hate me even more. This exchange sounds awfully familiar.
Then, let's just forget about the village. Those villagers are assholes anyway.
Elaine?
I will be more careful. Anyway, how about we go on an adventure or something? I bet there are some interesting places out there. Or maybe we could find other witches. There's no way you're the only one, right? Or maybe you have somewhere you want to go.
Hearing Elaine's words, the witches blinks in confusion. We? You and I?
Yeah. Do you see anyone else here?
No, but... You're going with me? Why? Elaine laughs.
You're quite dumb sometimes, Master.
Why did you just call your witch dumb?
I did. I mean, you are dumb. I might be in this form. I no longer look like your adorable pet cat. But I'm still me. At least on the inside, I'm still your familiar. Your black cat, Elaine. I'm not a stray cat. Whatever you are, my place is by your side. If not, where should I go?
Hearing Elaine's words, a smile forms on the witch's face. I see. Thank you, Elaine. Actually, there is a place I want to see.
See? You actually have one.
Yeah, well, you know, my mother loves this place called Sea. She said it's a calming and peaceful place. It's like an enormous pond, but with salty water. Everywhere you see, there's water, as if it's stretched to the horizon. She said that the sunset is especially beautiful there. When it's morning, the water looks blue, just like the sky. But when the sun sets, the water changed in color. Even when she was there, she said she couldn't forget the sound of the waves and the sight of the water that sparkled under the sun. Which she loved it so much, and that she thought the sea when she named me. She wanted me to bring bright yet calming person, just like a sea in the morning.
Sounds great. If that's where you want to go, I will accompany you.
Elaine grins and extends his hand to the witch.
Shall we go then? To this place called Sea.
The witch gets up and fixes her crumpled skirt. Then, she takes that outstretched hand in front of her with a smile. When I realized suddenly, we are back in the forest where we met. Looks like the previous memory is the last one, but I'm still in a daze trying to process things. There is something weird from the memories. If the witch and Elaine went to see the sea, why is he here, on the place near the village he despises? Did they conclude their journey and came back? More questions appearing inside my head, but before I can think about them, the demon's voice snaps me back to reality.
Now that you've seen the witch's memories, what do you think?
I clenched my fist. All this time I believed the folklore. I believed the witch is evil. No matter what the villagers did, no matter what the villagers said, I tried to forgive it. I tried to justify them all. When I saw the witch's memories, I think the villagers are... They were cruel. I think the villagers were too cruel. Why did they do those things without trying to listen and understand the witch? They just wanted to blame someone in their misfortunes.
My thoughts exactly.
Honestly, I'm not sure what to feel about what is right or wrong anymore. There are many things I don't understand, but I will save it for later, when I meet the witch. More importantly, I need to guess her name. If I get it right, I can meet her. Then, I can hear the truth from her own mouth.
Okay, now it's time for you to guess. What's the witch's name?
Okay, I can do this. Show hint. Here is the clues I've collected. Hint 1. One of the villagers called the witch Miss M. That's most likely her initial. Hint 2. The name of the witch's mother is Ingrain. I'm not sure if this is a hint though. Hint 3. Elaine's name doesn't have anything to do with her name. Hint 4. The witch's mother loved the sea. She remembered the sea when she named the witch. Hint 5. The witch's mother wished that her child grew up in a bright but calm, like morning sea. Additional hint. I think the witch's name consists of 6 letters. Just my intuition. Okay, I'm ready to guess. I think the witch's name is...
Too bad, you got it wrong.
Eh?
Well, as I promised, I will leave you here.
No, please. Don't leave me alone, please. I don't have a place to go. I can't go back either. Please.
Then, why don't I just eat you? I can just eat your soul. It's my food. I'm a demon after all.
What?
Now that I think about it, that's a great idea. To be honest, I'm tired of this. But hey, this way, you won't be alone anymore. So do I.
In an instant, everything turned black. I can feel nothing. I can feel something rip my heart, literally. My consciousness is leaving me, along with my body temperature. On my last moment, I can hear the demon's voice.
You know, the witch is actually not immortal. If you ripped out the heart like this, they could die. From now on, let's be together, my witch.
Oh, wow. I got I'm not sure if you noticed, but when I was reading, I did kind of I did a little bit got distracted when the creator, the maker of the game, the developer of the game actually actually dropped by the stream, which is I really do appreciate. But yes. I also paused because there was a moment where it kind of diverted because it's not the ending that I wanted. When there was a prompt to when there was a prompt to guess the witch's name, it didn't give me the opportunity to write it down, so that's why there was a little bit of a pause there. But if you want to know, if you have a guess what the witch's name is, or want to know what will happen if you guess the witch's name, then why don't you go and play the game yourself? It's all free and all available on itch.io. So, like all of these games, they are free, and these are all submissions to the VN Game Jam, the Spooktober VN Game Jam, sponsored by or made by, hosted by DevTalk. I'll be honest, guys. I planned to read one more story for today, but I'm starting to not feel well. So yeah, I feel like my throat is a bit parched, or I mean, I could just drink some water, but I am kind of having an headache. So I think I might just try to end it here. Pretty I guess pretty successful maybe. Pretty successful first sorry, I got distracted for a moment. Pretty successful first Spooktober story time stream. Uh this does not inspire confidence in terms of how many games I'll be able to play. But I will keep going until the end of Spooktober and until a winner is crowned. So hopefully I'll survive. So that's it for me, and I'll continue tomorrow and have a spooky and have a spooky Spooktober, everyone. Good night and goodbye.